If you're only getting like under 50 downloads per episode, you need to watch this video. So let's just jump in. The main reason is often you're not getting the same audience that listened to your past episode. You're just getting a new set of random people listening to that specific episode. And the reason why that could be is because your podcast is about one thing, except you talk about other things. I'm a big fan of the TV show The Office. It's a funny show about people working at a paper company. The show had really funny characters, situations, all of that. But imagine if you were to tune in and all of a sudden Michael Scott was violently murdered and Pam became a stripper. Some people might stay. That actually does sound like an interesting show. But the core audience who came to have an escape, to laugh, will go away and the ratings will plummet. The reason why I bring this up is that it shows a clear connection between the show and expectation and promise. And when you develop or have a podcast, it has to fulfill the promise. People are coming every week because they're interested in that niche and that topic, just like how they were with blogs. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you talk about good sleep, diet, and exercise, but then you have an episode about buying crypto. And then people are really confused, like, what does crypto have to do with weight loss? There might be a connection. I can't think of one, and probably neither your audience. You could try to build a connection, but ultimately it's probably not an episode that will connect very well. You have to double down on what people are really interested in. So if you notice you're a fitness coach and the numbers show that people love it when you talk about supplements, creatine, the different types of protein, then just make another episode about that from a different perspective, or have a guest talk about their experience. Let's say your podcast is all about getting a remote job. And so every episode has to fulfill that promise. I'm looking for a remote job as the audience. So I want to hear the different tactics. So that there could be strategy as an episode. There could be somebody from HR from a remote first company. They can come on the podcast and talk about their hiring process and the best way to land a remote job. Then you can talk to people who have remote jobs. How did they find it? What were their strategies? So every episode is fulfilling the promise of how to find a remote job. So in conclusion, make sure every episode you record, whether it's solo, with a guest, or the panel, fulfills the promise the podcast is setting out to provide. So your mission is to really sit down and map out the podcast and the potential episodes that you could record in the next 3 to 6 months. Now you have a stronger roadmap on what episodes you should be recording in the future. And that will fulfill the promise to your audience. I promise you, your downloads will go up. The other things with retention, and I'll talk about it in a different episode, is prepping for questions and preparing your guests. So if you like this, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.